Salaam alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Asyhadu an la ilaha illallah. Asyhadu an la ilaha illallah. Asyhadu anna Muhammadar Rasulullah. Asyhadu anna Muhammadar Rasulullah. Hayya 'alas salah. Hayya 'alas salah. Hayya 'alal falah. Hayya 'alal falah. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. La ilaha illallah.
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهد الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما أما بعد إن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله عز وجل وأحسن الحديث حديث محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر أمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة في الإسلام بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. All praise is due to Allah Azza wa Jal. We praise Him and we extol Him and we seek refuge in Allah from evil within ourselves and evil results of our wrong actions. Whomsoever Allah guides could be never left astray in misguidance. And whomsoever Allah allows to be left astray, then there is no guide for that individual. Really, the most truthful of speech is the book of Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala, the Quranic Kareem, and the finest guidance is that of Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And the most evil of affairs are the newly invented ones, bid'ah. And every bid'ah is going astray, and every going astray leads to the hellfire. O you who believe, attaqullah, have the consciousness of Allah, and always speak a word that is true. As a result, Allah Azza wa Jal will rectify our deeds and forgive us of our sins, and whosoever obeys Allah and His Messenger has indeed achieved a great firm handhold. As what follows, my dear brothers, Salaam Iman, today inshallah I would like to speak about the importance of having good companionship in Islam according to the Quran and Sunnah. Bidnillah, lillahi tawfiq, and the help is with Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. And this topic is especially important for us living here in the West as Muslims, since, as we all know, that the majority of the people who had made migration to these lands have only come here for financial reasons. This is the reality for majority, if not everybody, who has come over to these lands. And if not for money, they come for education so as to make more money. So everything that people are here for is something which is attached to the dunya, worldly reasons. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil. There's no might and there's no power except with Allah. And with Allah Azza wa Jal lies all of our success. As Muslims, we have to change this mindset about ourselves. That if we are only residing here for the sake of this dunya, then this is what they call ma'ishatan danka, a useless existence. Because what I have noticed, and many of us will notice, that the majority of the people are just living day by day, or they're just going through the motions, or they're just living paycheck to paycheck. So I would like us to pay special and particular attention to this khutbah today, because if we see within ourselves that we fall into this category of just living day by day, or just week to week, or paycheck to paycheck, then we have to change something about ourselves. If we can find that within ourselves, that we wake up in the morning without any purpose, and we go to bed at night so as just to start the routine all over again, and as most people are in this country, are just living for the weekend. Those of us who've been living here a long time, they know. Those of us who are new, then let them listen very closely and understand within themselves that if they plan to follow this pattern, that they're just looking for a job so as to make money, then they're going to end up like the rest, living a ma'ishatan danka, a useless existence. Because as Muslims, we do not live purposeless. Our lives are purposeful. Allah Azza wa Jal, He created us, and He gave us guidance, and He gave us purpose in our lives. We should not be living here with the intention that we're just living day to day, or just to put food into our children's mouths. If this is our intention, then we're living a useless existence. And we shouldn't just wait or just hope that things are going to change by themselves, because it never happens that way. We have to look within ourselves, and if we fall into that category of just living day to day, or moment to moment, or paycheck to paycheck, or just living for the weekend, or looking forward to the weekend so we can relax, then we're living ma'ishatan danka. We're living a useless existence. And we have to understand that change cannot just occur overnight. It never happens overnight. If we see within ourselves that we're living a lifestyle that is not conducive for Islam, then we have to change something about ourselves. Allah Azza wa Jal, He has mentioned that in His Quran, Al-Kareem, in His noble book, in Surah Ra'd, ayat number 11. He says, Inna Allah la yaghir ma biqawmin hatta yaghairu ma bi anfusihim. Allah Azza wa Jal, He says very clearly in Surah Ra'd, ayat number 11, that verily Allah does not change the condition of a people until they change that which is in themselves. A lot of us have left very nice homes and came over here with just the hope and dream of acquiring something of the dunya, which isn't anything wrong with that. But this is not a balanced lifestyle. As Muslims, we have to live a balanced lifestyle. We have to put Allah first. We cannot live a life that is just in accordance with the norms of the society. For myself, speaking from myself and my own perspective and my own experience, and a lot of people who have been here for some time can understand what I'm speaking about. That ever since they've changed the law where they allowed Sunday shopping, a lot of people have been more involved in the rat race, running after the dunya, and they're spending less time with their families. Personally speaking, I have visited many hospitals, and I've been to many mental health wards to visit many Muslims, young and old, some in their teens. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. It's heartbreaking to see a young Muslim boy or girl, we don't want to say where they're from or their nationality, but they're from all over. I've visited Muslims from different parts of the world in the mental health wards, foaming at the mouth, strapped down. I've been to the hospitals. I've been to the drug rehabilitation centers, and I visited Muslims there trying to recover from addiction. Muslims, young and old, are suffering from mental health issues, from drug addiction, from substance abuse. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. We have many Muslims who are hiding in alleyways or in apartment stairwells, and they're using drugs. They're shooting up heroin and many hard drugs into their veins. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil. You think and you believe that that child is your child when he reaches into the later years, into college or university. But that child is not your innocent little child anymore. They're shooting up drugs. They're using hard drugs. And the parents are unaware of that. Until everything gets out of control, they think that the child is possessed. He has a jinn. He has all kind of things. It's another. They say all kind of things. But they don't understand that the child is using hard drugs until they realize that they can't do anything. The Quran is not working, and he ends up in the mental health ward. He ends up in the hospital. When they do the drug, they do a test, they do the blood test, they realize that this child is using hard drugs. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. Just now we finished the winter break. Prior to that, we had Thanksgiving. We're going to have Family Day coming up next month. We have Mother's Day coming up after that. Then there's going to be Father's Day. The government has put these in legislation as holidays so that people can get together. They've realized that people now, they need to get together. Families need to meet with each other. They're realizing that now, that people are getting sick. There are thousands of people in this city alone that are becoming overdosed. There are people every day who are dying, Muslim and non-Muslim, from drug overdose every single day. But you don't hear that. Alhamdulillah. May Allah Azza wa Jal keep all of us safe. Allahumma ameen. So, this situation is all due to people getting caught up in the rat race. Muslim and non-Muslim, people in general. Because if you go right now, downtown, Moss Park, in the city, in the center of the city, they've erected a huge tent so that people can shoot up drugs safely and not in the dirty stairwells. So they can safely use hard drugs because it's gone out of control. There's no control over the drug epidemic in our city. Muslim and non-Muslim. We're talking about people. I have witnessed this. I have been to the drug rehabilitation centers and seen lots of Muslims from every part of the world. I get phone calls from Muslims, from good Muslim families, good Muslim countries. Why they come over here? They lose their deen. They lose their iman. They lose everything. And they end up on drugs. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. My dear brothers and sisters in iman, we're talking about friendship. We're talking about choosing proper companionship. Alhamdulillah, a lot of us living out in the suburbs, they realize that a lot of people, a lot of Muslims are losing their families. The wives are divorcing, they're asking for khula. They don't want to be with their husband. Why is this an epidemic? Why is this going on? Why is the divorce rate so high in the Muslim communities? We never sit and wonder and ponder on that. But alhamdulillah, a lot are moving outside of the city because they want to protect themselves and their families. But what do they do? On the other hand, they're running after the dunya same way. They're still running after the dunya. They're working extra hours. They're working extra hard. They go out early. They come home late. The men are going out early. They're coming home late, taking a shower, eating a little bit, watching a little TV with the family, falling asleep to repeat the whole cycle again. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. Spending more time at work than with their family. Or in the masjid with the family of the believers. Spending very little time with the family. So I go home straight from work. And if I can, I go and I pray Isha or Maghrib at the masjid. If I can. So what do they do when they're at home? They're not spending any quality time with their family. They're spending quality time with the TV or with the internet or with the movies. This is not what Allah created us for. I have to be very straightforward that if we continue like this, then we're living ma'ishatin danka. We're living a useless existence. There's a hadith, which is collected in the Sahih of Imam Bukhari, that one day a Bedouin man came to the Prophet ﷺ and he asked the Prophet ﷺ, he said, Ya Rasulullah, mata sa'a? He said to the Prophet ﷺ, when is the hour? The Prophet didn't answer him and he continued speaking with his companions. Then after some time, the Prophet, he said, Aina Sa'il, where is the questioner? The man said, Ha ana da, I'm here, Ya Rasulullah. He said, you are the one who asked about the hour? He said, yes, a Bedouin, Arabi. He said, Mada adat laha, what have you prepared for it? What have you prepared for it? The Prophet didn't go like this or like that with his questioning. He asked him a straightforward question, just as straight as the question that he asked the Prophet ﷺ. What have you prepared for it? When we look at ourselves, we need to question ourselves as to what have we prepared for the hour. Because we all know that we were here once and we're going to go once. We live today and we're going to die tomorrow. We're not going to live forever. So what have we prepared for the hour? The Prophet asked the man. He said, I haven't prepared much. I haven't prepared much. Very honest. May Allah be pleased with the Sahaba. He said, I haven't prepared much in way of prayer and fasting and all of that stuff. I haven't prepared much. I'm not that type of a person. But I love Allah and Rasul. The Prophet ﷺ, he said that, he said a person will be with those whom they love. Allahu Akbar. So the Sahaba, when they heard the Prophet ﷺ say that, they were never more overjoyed than when they heard those words. The person will be with those whom they love. And the Prophet ﷺ, he said a very important hadith. He said, La hijrata ba'da al-fatih. Walakin jihad wa niyya. He said that there is no hijrah, there is no migration after the conquest of Mecca, but there is struggling, striving in the path of Allah and having a good intention. That man, he said, I haven't prepared much. And most of us are in that situation, especially those who love to pray in Jama'ah. When they miss the Jama'ah and they sleep through the Jama'ah, it hurts them. They feel it. But they know that they love to pray in the Jama'ah. They love to attend the masajid. They love to be with the believers. So if we're sincere and we're trying to strive, trying to take out some part of our time, lillah, for the sake of Allah, that Allah Azza wa Jal, He will bless us. The Prophet ﷺ gave an excellent example. He said, Mathal al-Jalus as-Salih wa Jalus as-Su. Example of the good companion and the bad companion, kahamul al-Misk. Is that the person who is distributing attar, or the person who sells the fragrance, the attar, or the person who's the blacksmith, or he burns the bellows. He does the things with the fire. He said the person who sells the attar, he'll maybe give you one as a gift, or he'll give you some, or you'll just be in his company and you'll feel good in his company. As opposed to the person who's playing with the fire or the blacksmith, then his smell will bother you, or the smoke will bother you, or dirty or burn your clothing. So the main point is that we have to be in the habit of spending quality time with the believers. We have to go out and look for our dunya. We have to go out and look for our livelihood and take care of ourselves and our families and our dependents. But we cannot make that our main focus in life. The only thing we do is we focus on the dunya, making money, spending money. We're not thinking about the masakeen. We're not thinking about any other family members. And when we come home, we rarely spend any time with our family, any quality time with our families. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. Allah Azza wa Jal, He had given us many examples in the Quran. He said, بَلْ تُؤْثِرُونَ الْحَيَاةَ الدُّنْيَا وَالْآخِرَةُ خَيْرٌ وَأَبْقَىٰ. He says that you love and you desire, you crave the life of this world, but the next life is better. And it's everlasting life. Allahu Akbar. Allah Azza wa Jalla give us an example of the good companion in the Quran, Surah Zul-Khuruf, ayat number 67. الأخ يومئذ بعضكم لبعض عدو إلى المتقين. صدق Allah. Allah Azza wa Jalla says that those people who you are so friendly with, those people who you feel are your brothers or your companions, they will be your enemies. الأخ يومئذ بعضكم لبعض عدو إلى المتقون. You will be an enemy to each other except if you are true believers. If I'm meeting him and he's coming to meet me only for the dunya, then in the next life, that person will be your enemy. We should be in the habit of meeting each other for the sake of Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala. In short, we all know that life is short. In short, we all know that life is short. Anyone you meet standing in the line, in the mall, in the supermarket, life is short. They understand what we're talking about. Life isn't all about what we're buying or what we're consuming. Life is short. We're here today, gone tomorrow. How many of us know that person died suddenly? La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. So we have to be more in the habit of trying to fit into our busy schedules time for Allah tabarak wa ta'ala. As the Prophet ﷺ said in a hadith which occurs on the authority of Abu Umama, that the Prophet ﷺ said that man yuhabba lillah, whoever loves for Allah, wabgha lillah, who hates for the sake of Allah, wa'ata'a lillah, who gives for the sake of Allah, wa mana'a lillah, and will hold for the sake of Allah, has completed their iman. Allahu Akbar. As I said at the beginning of our khutbah, if we haven't already, and we realize that we are lacking in this part of our lives, in understanding that we must live a balanced life, then now is the time for us to check ourselves. If we're living a wrong type of lifestyle, I'm not going to judge, because Allah says, Balil insan ala nafsi basira. Allah says, verily the human beings are the best judge of themselves. I'm not here to point the finger at anybody, because the rest are pointing back at me. We have to look at ourselves and determine, are we living a good Islamic lifestyle, or we living ma'ishatin danka? Whoever loves for Allah and gives for Allah and withholds for Allah and does those things for the sake of Allah, then they have completed their iman. So we know that life is short. We all know that life is short. So may Allah give us a tawfiq to be sincere and look within ourselves. May Allah give us the tawfiq to sincerely look within ourselves and remove all of the doubt and suspicion about this life. Because this life is a life of deception. And may Allah help all of us to sincerely look within ourselves and to be sincerely be the ones to make that change. بتوفيق الله عز وجل. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر وأتوب إليه. بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وسلم بهدى وبعد. We all know that life is short. تمر الأيام. Life is passing us by. We're once a man, twice a child, as they say. We don't remember when we were so young, but we remember when we were young and strong. We remember that when the gray hairs are coming out, the bones are becoming weak. We make sounds when we get up, and the bones are starting to become brittle. So we have to know that life is short. And Allah has given us a perfect amount of time to do the deeds that we are required to do so as to live a good life in the next life. There's a hadith collected in Sahih Bukhari and Muslim, and for Abu Hurairah anhu, who said that the Prophet ﷺ, he said, إِذَا حَبَّ اللَّهُ الْعَبْدِ نَادَى جِبْرِيلٌ. When Allah loves a servant of his slave, he calls Jibreel. And then he says to Jibreel, verily, inni hubbu falan, fahibbu. I love this person. I love this person, so love him. And then Jibreel, he makes a proclamation in the heavens. And he says that Allah loves so-and-so, so love him. So the love is established in the heavens. And then that muhabba, that love from the heavens, it descends to the earth. And then the Prophet ﷺ, he recited the ayat of Allah. He said, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ سَيَدْخِلُهُمْ الرَّحْمَنُ وَدًّا. Verily, those people who believe and do righteous good deeds, then Ar-Rahman, the most gracious, the most merciful, will put love in between our hearts. May Allah make us جَعَلْنَا مُتَحَابِينَ لِلْجِلَالِ. May Allah make us those who love each other for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal. So us, as Muslimin, we have to be in the habit of meeting people. We have to schedule this. In this country, we have to schedule appointments for dunya. Why don't we schedule appointments with Allah? Allah Azza wa Jal has made us schedule appointments 5 times a day to go and meet with Allah. Why don't we make that meeting even better for us when we go to the masjid and we try and beauty ourselves? and walk with some form of attar to share with our Muslim brothers. This is a very, very good attitude which will allow us to have more love between ourselves. The Prophet ﷺ, he said, Tahadu tahabu ya ibadallah. He said, give gifts to each other and you will love each other. It's a hadith in Sahih Bukhari. That one day, one Sahabi, Mus'ab ibn Umair, he was missing. And they haven't seen him for a few days. So his brother said that his bird died. He had a pet bird and his bird passed away. The Prophet ﷺ, Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, big Sahabi Jalil, they said, let us go and visit our brother in Islam. They went to the young boy's house and he said, Ya Abu Umair, ماذا فعل المغير? He said, O father of the bird. The Prophet gave him ﷺ a nickname. He said, what did the little bird do? Come back to the masjid. Meaning, come back to the masjid. The bird died. He was sad at the death of his little pet bird, his pigeon. And he said, come back to the masjid. He took the time, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, with the major sahabi, big men, and said, let's visit our Muslim brother. We see our brother today. We don't see him for a week, a month, or two. We don't even find out where he is or how they're doing. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. We as Muslims, we have to change our mindset. We as Muslims, we have to change our attitude. We as Muslims, we have to look into ourselves and find out how we can be better connected as a community. We cannot always be looking for the dunya. There are many practical ways. For example, the Prophet ﷺ, he used to make the roads straight. When you come to the masjid, don't come lazy. When you come to the masjid, try and put on good clothes, some attar, some fragrance. And then you come. The Prophet ﷺ used to stand and used to make the road straight. He used to stay foot to foot, shoulder to shoulder. One hadith, he said, Ya ibadallah, make your lines straight, or Allah Azza wa Jal would make your faces become crooked. And he said in another hadith in Abu Dawood, Ibn Hibban, he said, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he said, make your lines straight, or Allah Azza wa Jal will make your hearts differ from each other. Allahu Akbar. This is the attitude that we have to have. We have to always be looking at ways in which we can straighten up ourselves, improve our condition, be better Muslims, be practical Muslims, be realistic Muslims. It is not a practical, realistic, holistic lifestyle for a person to be just waking up, getting ready, going to work, coming home, taking a shower, eat, watch the TV, go to sleep. Wake up, go again. This is not a routine that we as Muslims should be living in. This is purposeless. We have to have some kind of a purpose and direction in our lives. As a Muslim, we have to live Islamic. Muslim is not just a name or a title or a branding. A Muslim means something. When we research and understand, it's Tislam lillah, it's Tawheed, that we're submitting to Allah in His oneness. So we'll work, we take a nice shower, we spend quality time, we try and find a time where we can eat together as a family, if we have a family, or at least a few times during the week where you can sit and eat together as a family, share some hadith, share some tafsir of the Quran. There's so many practical things that we can do so as to live a great and wholesome lifestyle in this part of the world or any part of the world. So let us, as Muslims, not just live our lives for no purpose, with no reason, without any direction. We have to spend time with our family, not just time, but quality time with our family. We need to spend not just time at the masjid, jump in and jump out, but we need to spend quality time at the masjid. We need to reach out to our Muslim brethren and call them. And they'll find it strange. Why are you calling me? I'm just calling to say salam. Where are you, brother? I'm busy right now. I'm at work or whatever, but I would like to meet with you, brother. They'll find it strange that you want to meet with your Muslim brother, but you take the first step. Let me take the first step to my Muslim brother. Let me make the first step to change my attitude towards each other. I want to call you, brother. I want to meet you. Why? I want to just meet you. We can have a cup of coffee, a cup of tea. I haven't seen you for a week. I want to practice that hadith, that if you haven't seen your brother in 3 days, be the first one to initiate the salam. May Allah Azza wa Jal give us a tawfiq to live a practical, balanced life. May Allah Azza wa Jal Bless all of us. And may Allah Azza wa Jal, I'm asking Allah by His names and His attributes, Al-Asma al-Husna, wa Sifat al-Ulya, to protect us, and protect our family, to protect our children, and make us all be of those of mutahabina li jalalik ya Rabbal Alameen. Ameen, ameen. Inna Allah wa malaikatu yusalluna ala nabi. Ya alladhina amanu, sallu alayhi wa sallam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad. Kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim, innaka Hamidum Majid. Allahumma barik ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad. كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار وقنا الصلاة